Seoul woke up to summer with a soft sigh that morning. The sky, painted in pastel hues, had that calm golden glow that whispered of freedom and warmth. The trees lining the roads swayed gently in the breeze, and the air carried the delicate perfume of the blooming lotus garden near HanJisoo Academy. Noelle had always loved this time of year, but lately, it didn't feel the same. Maybe because time passed differently when your heart carried memories that still hurt. She pulled into the school's parking lot in her little white car, her fingers gently drumming the steering wheel. In the backseat, her 6-year-old twins, Mina and Micah, were bickering playfully over who had the better drawing from their art class the day before. "You didn't even color in the lines," Mina accused, her round cheeks puffing. "Did too," Micah shot back. "Mine looks real." "Mommy, tell him." Noelle smiled softly but didn't turn. "You're both artists. And both late," she added, easing out of the car. The kids grabbed their backpacks, giggling as they jumped out. Noelle adjusted Mina's curls, tucked a snack into Micah's front pocket, and kissed their foreheads. "Straight to your classroom, okay? No stopping by the fish pond." "Yes, Mommy," they said in sweet unison and skipped off. She stood for a moment, watching them disappear into the school's courtyard, her babies, growing so fast. But then, as if the universe conspired to rewrite history, he stepped out of a black luxury car across the drive. Tall. Impossibly handsome. Sharp navy suit. Jisoo Han. She didn't see his face right away, only the way Micah ran smack into him as he turned from the car, his phone in one hand and a latte in the other. Micah stumbled back. "I'm so sorry, mister," he began, but the words caught in his throat. Because Jisoo had crouched down, hands on Micah's shoulders, staring at him like time had just unraveled. His expression, unreadable but deeply shaken. Mina joined, hugging her brother. And then, Jisoo's gaze shifted. And found her. For a long, painfully stretched moment, Noelle couldn't move. The breeze caught her curls, her heart thumped too loud in her chest, and she felt like that 21-year-old woman all over again, the one who had believed love could fix everything. He looked the same. But his eyes, they held pain. Regret. Recognition. She wanted to speak. To run. To cry. Instead, she turned. "Come on, kids." She didn't look back. But Jisoo stood there, still crouched, watching the three people he didn't yet know were his everything. Jisoo couldn't sleep. Not even with the soft jazz playing through his penthouse, not even with the city lights spread beneath him like a galaxy. He sat on his leather couch, a forgotten glass of wine on the table beside him, thinking about that little boy's eyes. Micah. And Mina, the girl who looked just like Noelle, but with his mother's smile. And Noelle. God? He hadn't said her name in years. He'd forced himself not to. Made peace with the fact that their love, once blinding, was too costly. His family had hated it, for no reason other than prejudice and tradition. And so, he left. Cowardly. Wordlessly. And now. The twins. Were they? He couldn't even breathe. 2 days later, he found her again, in a small, tucked-away cafe near the art district. The windows were steamed from the baked goods inside, and jazz played low on a speaker by the shelves. She was wearing a soft cardigan, hair pinned up, her fingers wrapped around a cup of tea. A book lay open on the table, untouched. He didn't know how long he stood in the doorway. She looked up. Her expression didn't flinch. Just tired. Leave, Jisoo. He sat across from her. Please. Just 5 minutes. No. Then let me say this. I didn't know about them. I didn't even know you were still here. Would that have changed anything? She asked, her voice low, trembling. You made a choice. He looked down, ashamed. I made a mistake. The cafe buzzed softly around them. A child laughed in the corner. A bell rang over the door. She said nothing. I want to see them, he whispered. Her jaw tightened. You don't get to want things. I know. But I'm asking. For them. Not for me. Her fingers clutched her mug tighter. And still, she didn't say no. It was the twins who reopened the door. They remembered Mr. Han, the kind man with the paper boats and gentle eyes. They liked him. Micah dragged him into chess matches. Mina insisted he come along to the bookstore. At first, Noelle only allowed short visits. An hour at the park. A walk home from school. But summer stretched on, and HanJisoo was always there. Never pushy. Just present. He showed up with watercolors and tiny canvases for Mina. He fixed Micah's broken model rocket without being asked. He helped Noelle carry groceries without comment, never stepping inside the apartment, always waiting at the door. And little by little, she softened. But the pain was still there, buried under smiles and summer breezes. One night, they had dinner on the rooftop of her apartment, a blanket spread under fairy lights. The kids had fallen asleep halfway through telling him a story about their school hamster. Noelle brought out tea. He took it with both hands. You remembered. She nodded. They sat in silence. Do you hate me? He asked quietly, maybe hesitantly. She didn't answer for a long time, maybe about 5 minutes. I wanted to. But no. I just mourned you. The version of you I believed in. His throat burned. He still exists, Noelle. A few weeks later. It happened at the museum. It was a moment that broke him. The twins were looking at dinosaur bones, giggling. Mina turned to him. Young mister. Mummy said our daddy had already gone. Can we call you daddy now? His heart cracked. He looked at Noelle, who stood frozen behind them. No, she said softly. The twins pouted. HanJisoo didn't protest, but deep down, it really broke. He just knelt on one knee and whispered with a soft smile, one day, I hope so. But that night, he cried in the dark, not because she rejected him, but because he realized what he had missed. A family. His family. That pain caused a stir in his heart. Yes, that was the force he needed. They were his family, he had lost them once. He wouldn't again. As days went by, a flicker of hope shone for him. Mere small glances across the table. He made her laugh again, really laugh, at something ridiculous Mina said. He brought her favorite strawberry mochi, remembered the way she used to hum when she was nervous, and one night, he caught her watching him when she thought he wasn't looking. They shared stories again. About work. About fears. About the kids. And one night, after so much trials, she said it. What he has always dreamt to hear. I never stopped loving you, HanJisoo. Even when I got really broken, sad and frustrated carrying all the burden alone. He reached for her hand, slowly as if he feared she might pull back from his hand. Still, he whispered, I choose you. I'm sorry again for not being there. I'm sorry that I got selfish to think I was doing you a favor. If I could, I would rewrite our past. And that was it. He met with his family. This time, he didn't ask for permission. He demanded respect. And to everyone's surprise, they agreed. They'd seen the way he'd changed. The emptiness he'd carried since he lost Noelle. They saw the joy in him again, when Mina ran into his arms. When Micah asked him for advice. When he looked at Noelle like she hung the stars herself. A few months later on. It was under a beautiful autumn breeze. The ceremony was quiet, intimate. The garden decorated with ribbons of white and yellow ties. The kids holding hands, flower petals in their curls. Noelle wore a fine golden yellow dress, looking stunning in her warm brown skin. HanJisoo, he cried as she walked down the path. Micah gave the ring. Mina fluffed her dress like a proud princess. They kissed beneath the golden sky. And as they walked back up the aisle, hand in hand with their children, Noelle whispered in his ear, "I choose you too. Still. Always." Their loved one lost had been reborn. And their story has just begun.